Hey everybody, Jason here. I just want to do a quick weather update. I just recorded a 30-minute video or so, but YouTube requires verification that can take over 24 hours before you can post a video that far or that long, so I have to keep it to 10 minutes or so. So I'm going to try and include a lot in here. I'm not very good at doing videos. I'm new to doing this and setting up. I don't have the best setups. Sorry for lack of updates. My main job is a plant supervisor at a water treatment plant, so we are getting things set up here and ready for the storm coming in so we can face it here as well. Make sure the citizens here get the best water they can. Make sure it's great and tastes great. So that's our main priority outside of this. Taking care of that, taking care of the family as well. So with that, let's get right into it and kind of show you what's going on. The biggest thing we have is the euro. It's still showing significant ice fall amounts. Big things to remember here. Anything over a quarter of an inch of ice is going to cause issues. The euro is painting a half to over an inch of ice for the I-85 to 40 corridor. If that happens, there's going to be catastrophic power failures. The big thing to remember right now is we have cold air locked into place. What I'm going to try and explain is why are we getting ice instead of snow. You've got to think above our heads, about 5,000 feet, the temperature is going to be going well above freezing. We have warm air that's coming up from the south, but the cold air is going to be locked in. It's going to be in the teens here at the surface, but it is going to be warm up above. That's why places like in Asheville and areas out like that, you may switch over to rain briefly, which could bring back your ice totals, which would be a good thing. It's because Asheville and areas like that are higher in elevation, so they're going to be up where that warmer air is. Meanwhile, down here at the surface, we're locked into that. Second thing I want to kind of summarize is as I was running through the models earlier on, I got a surprise of the GFS and other models are showing on another signal for a significant winter storm again next weekend. Same setup, same signals. Let's hope that doesn't verify. I'm a winter weather fan. I love it, but this is going to be a lot. The other thing we need to pay attention to is it's going to be cold. The temperatures are going to be below freezing. Most of the models only bring us above freezing briefly once this entire week. In fact, for the next 2 weeks, if the models verify, we may not get above freezing. There's going to be times where the temperatures could actually be below freezing. Unfortunately, that could be around the times where we face these power failures. So just have a plan into place. Just know wherever you're at Saturday afternoon, you may be there for a couple days. You're not going to be able to travel, and you may be there without power. So plan accordingly. Get ready for it. This storm is coming. We don't know the amounts yet. Totally, we won't know. But we do know a storm's coming. Amounts don't matter. It's going to be impactful. This isn't going to be a little system that comes and goes. So just amounts aside, be ready for an impactful event. So anyway, the Euro's painting all of these higher snowfall totals. Let's kind of show you what's going on real quick in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and show you why we're changing over to ice. Over to ice. So this is temperatures about 5,000 feet above our heads. So anything that is above this little line here is below freezing. So if you're below freezing, all those levels, you're going to be all snow. Anything under here, you're going to be ice if it's below freezing at the surface. So timestamps are over here on the left, so you can kind of see where the times are. So this is Friday evening. You can see this is why we're going to start as snow. So Saturday, 5 in the morning, going to 9 in the morning, going into Saturday afternoon, we're locked into the cold air, the surface and above us. Here's where the problem comes in. Look at this warm air starting to come up in a vector from the southwest. It's coming up. So as you can see here, this is I-40 kind of like right along in here. Anywhere north of this line here, you're snow still. But even you're going to change over to ice. Anything down here is going to be, anything down in this area is going to be ice because you're going to be above freezing. Let's get that off there. So that's what we got to watch. And you see through this whole thing, it's going to be above freezing. And then before the brutally cold air comes down. So one other thing I'm going to look at, I'm going to kind of go quick here because I got a very limited time. This is the GFS. So the GFS, with the latest runs, it's been consistently showing less ice. So let's hope this verifies. Granted, not a lot of snow, but more sleet. So we got to hope that verifies. We got to hope that we don't get the sleet. Let's see here. So let's look at what the radar is going to look like here. Start time is going to be, so anywhere in this little area here, the peach shaded area, that's sleet. The purple area is going to be freezing rain. So this is Sunday, early Sunday morning. So it looks like we're going to start Saturday afternoon. We have this sleet and snow moving in the area and kind of just becoming widespread through the evening. So we start as a little snow, and it moves on and then transitions over to sleet and then freezing rain. But look back in this area, Nashville, we're showing rain. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that and kind of see if that trends. Maybe it'll trend further this way where we all turn over to rain. It's a slight possibility, but if you notice over here in Nashville, that green is rain. The GFS is even showing it getting above freezing there at all levels of the atmosphere. All right, some of these, like I said, I had in that video earlier, but I have got to kind of cut it out. We're going to look at what's called the National Blend of Models. This takes all of the models, kind of combines them into one. It's still running right now, so we're not going to be able to use that. The National Blend of Models is going kind of with the GFS that we're going to see more sleet and some freezing rain, but not half-inch amounts of freezing rain. That's what we want to prevent right now. The other thing I kind of wanted to go over and show everybody here is why I don't predict snowfall totals greater than 3 days out. I'm going to show you these here. This is kind of a little technical stuff. Information kind of like gives you a peek of how we study different layers of atmosphere, and I'll try and explain it as I go. So this is the European model right now, and I'll try and explain it as we go. QPF is liquid, how much liquid can fall. So you're going to hear that term there. These are temperatures up here. These are surface temperatures. So you're looking at -2 in the Tuesday to Wednesday time frame. And then the snowfall amounts, the Euro, barely an inch. It's coming in early Sunday morning, according to the Euro. Server summary here. This shows different charts. This is total moisture, and then this is temperature here. So we don't have much time to run through that. Let's go down here. Sorry, I'm doing this really quick now. This is what I wanted to focus in on. This is the multiple run model runs of snow. This is why I don't post snowfall amounts. This over here on the left is model run times. So this starts back in January 18th, and then it runs to the current time now. Look at this. This is when everybody was posting all those sweet snow totals. I mean, I wish we got those. I mean, the Euro was showing 15 foot of snow for our area. So was the GFS. So was all the other ones. And then the track literally shifted 30 miles north. With that shift came this. It just killed all of our snowfall totals. That's why we can't post amounts. We knew the cold air was going to be here. We knew a winter storm was coming. We didn't know the amounts yet. This is an example. I wanted to really show you why you can't predict snowfall amounts days in advance. So starting January 20th, everybody's like, oh no, what happened? This is what happened. The track shifted and the model showed it. So the winter weather summary we have here, this shows the different amounts and different types. This is the European model. Something I want you to pay attention to here is QPF is total liquid. We'll go over that maybe in the next video. So the Euro showing sleet a little less than half an inch, but it's still showing freezing rain totals over an inch. So let's hope that doesn't verify. Snow, just less than an inch, coming in right there. So we'll keep an eye on that part there. This is the other thing I kind of wanted to spend a little time on. I can't as much right now. So this is the freezing line. So this is the surface where we're at. And then this goes up in the atmosphere. So this goes up. So the higher this is, the higher the atmosphere. So what's happening? Why are we getting ice instead of snow? These are the temperatures above our head. This is the freezing line. Okay, so you see right here during our ice storm, the temperature above our head are going above freezing. Now I will say the Bureau has trended colder recently, which is a good sign, but we're still above freezing there and above freezing there. Meanwhile, down here at the surface, we're well below freezing. So that's why we're looking at more ice than snow. This kind of shows just that a little bit. There we go. All right. All right, we're going to transition real quick over to the GFS. We can kind of see the differences here. The GFS, we'll start with daily high and lows. Look at this. Tuesday morning, 6 below zero. That is actual air temperatures, not wind chill. As you can see, we are not getting above freezing until late next week, and then we have another snowstorm coming in possibly. So prepare for below zero temperatures and the possibility of not having power. I cannot stress that enough. Look at this. Monday morning, February 2nd, 9 below zero. I don't think that'll verify, but strange things can happen. So let's look at the server summary here. This is total liquid coming. We'll kind of go through there. All right, multi-run snow totals like the Euro. The GFS back in January or back in the 20th was painting these nice high totals. All of them, it was nice. Man, if this would have verified. Now, granted, the GFS, just like the other ones, started trending down. But thankfully, it is printing out less freezing rain. So the GFS at this time is only showing about between a quarter and a half inch ice. Still devastating. Still power outages, but not as catastrophic. But we still have about. So let's hope if we have ice, it's going to be sleet. We've really got to hope for the sleet because it's going to be sleet or freezing rain. Snow is pretty much out of the equation for the most part. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then one other thing here. Summary, same thing. This is the temperature above our heads, the GFS. As you can see, the reason it's showing more sleet is because the temperatures aren't quite as warm above us, so the snow, when it melts, can refreeze into an ice pellet, and that's sleet. So that's why we're seeing that. But this is the freezing level. This is the surface. This black line is below freezing. For the next 2 weeks, the GFS only shows us briefly getting above freezing twice. It's just something to keep an eye on. I don't want to scare everybody, and I really hope this forecast busts and if the storm tracks 30 miles, 40 miles more to the north, we could get more rain. I'm pulling for that because I don't want these catastrophic ice storms. We had one, the most recent one was 2002. Some of you remember that. Think of this as a category 5, like 4 hurricane type infrastructure damage with trees and power lines coming down, but in the form of an ice storm. So prepare for that. I'll try and post some graphics. I'll try and do some more videos. You guys just let me know what you think. If you want me to do some more videos, I'll work on that. Which kind of maps do you like? I'll try and include them. I had a longer video posted before. I worked on one, but YouTube won't let me upload it right now, so I'm just going to kind of throw this up here for now to kind of explain what's going on above our heads, why we're seeing ice instead of snow. And something else, taking the big things I want to drive home right now is we are getting a winter storm. It's going to be brutally cold. The power is going to be out for days in some areas. This is almost a 100% lock. We just don't know where yet, but it's going to be along that I-85 40 corridor. The signals are there for another winter storm next weekend. We'll get into that next week and kind of see what happens. But we'll keep you updated, and I hope everybody does well. Stay safe, and we'll talk soon.